Hey, Alberto, how's it going? Yeah, so added the calories back in. So it went from the 1950 to the 2800, which is the read feed calories. Yeah, so immediately looking larger, just kind of filling out, which is pretty cool. So I'm like, wow, I look a lot larger than I did last week after, like, I guess the glycogen stores are replenished and whatnot. Increase in performance. Um, One thing that's interesting is that I don't know if I'm imagining things, but I think this new program is definitely I mean, I don't know, but I feel like this new program is resulting in some significant chest gains. I mean, I know it's only been like almost a month, but the I don't know. I've noticed that my chest is filling out. I could be imagining things because it is early, but it's a lot of chest work. And like I said, this is the first time I've actually felt like DOMs in my chest. Not that you need to feel DOMs to get progress, but um, I feel like the fact that the pec decks are getting they're just like really stretching that muscle out is really interesting to me. So I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious like how much larger my chest is going to get once I after a few more months of this. That's cool. Uh, Question on the glute bridge. I think on the description you said make it really choppy, like Kaz style. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm assuming because I guess what that means is because you see my video, it's more like you don't want me to go all the way down, right? You just want me to get that like whatever. Let's say I'm doing like 6 inches of like up and down, kind of what I'm trying to do. Let me know if I interpreted that properly. Um, yeah, I really like my cable tricep form. I think that's the cleanest my overhead cable tricep has ever looked, uh, which is pretty cool. Also, I cleaned up my Romanian deadlift to some extent. I mean, Dirk's the gold standard, so I just kind of put his videos side by side with mine, and I'm trying to get there. Because I noticed that last week, I think it was a little too fast for my liking. Too fast on the downward motion, and my pause was like a fraction of a second. Now I think my pauses, particularly in reps 2 to 4, were a lot cleaner, and I was slower on the way down. I mean, that resulted in me losing like a rep or two, which is kind of what I was assuming anyway. But I think a lot more stimulus on that Romanian deadlift, which is pretty cool. Also, wondering what your thoughts are on my cable crunch form. I know you wanted me to have my um, my thigh more vertical. And I guess how you want it to be vertical, I think I was wondering how do I get there? And I think it's that the rope itself is allowing me to get my thigh in a vertical position because it's kind of balancing me upward, right? I'm assuming because you can see I'm kind of leaning into that cable such that I'm able to kind of put my thighs a little bit more behind me, so it's not kind of like diagonal to the floor, and I get it more vertical. Let me know if that form's good. Um, then, yeah, I guess the dumbbell row. I want to slow that down next time because I noticed that a little bit too fast for my liking, particularly on like the first like 7 reps of that set. My dumbbell row was like too fast on the downward motions. I want to slow that down. And then I guess so. I know you were saying so in terms of like the body parts that are really lagging, right? I think we were agreeing that it was the tricep. So I guess that's why you are just kind of wondering like where your thoughts are going. That's why I'm assuming I'm doing quite a bit more sets of triceps this cycle, right? Which is also why I really want to hit the tricep hard because now that you mentioned it, I can't stop noticing that my triceps definitely are lagging compared to like the rest of my arm. Um, is that something I can overcome, I guess, just through like more volume? Or I guess part of that's like, is it like an incomplete muscle belly? I'm not really sure how that works. And it's just never going to look like impressive. Uh, and then, oh yeah, I guess what are your thoughts on my photos? Yeah, I know you wanted the basement lighting. I am going to get to the basement lighting this week. So I'm kind of excited about that, especially because I think I look quite a bit larger this week after I added the calories in. So I'm pretty excited what I'm going to look like down there. Because I know it looks like it doesn't even look real when when I'm in the basement. I don't understand why the lighting is so good in that basement, but it's like I'm looking like 50% better in that basement, which is like pretty funny. Because the lighting in my apartment is like It's not that good, which is obviously I want to keep it as objective as possible. I'm not trying to go for the crazy look, but it is pretty cool. Like when I am in the basement and I get that lighting. Yeah. So the I guess the last thing I wanted to mention was the handles and the range of motion. I think if I don't have to bring a seat over, I won't. So I'm going to see if I can somehow lean back in the seat that is underneath the, because the reason why I don't want to bring the chair over is not because it's an inconvenience, because I don't really care. I'm just trying to get as optimal as I can. It's just that I don't have like the thigh rest to keep me seated, basically, right? So basically, if I can describe the, like, it's not a bench, right? It's like those little benches. So basically, if you look at this is like kind of the bench, right? So I would be sitting kind of like this, and I will not have a thigh pad to keep me basically attached to the floor, right? So let's say I'm doing like lat raises with like 160. I'm basically 160. So I'm basically like, it's hard for me to even stay on the floor without the thigh rest. So I'm kind of wondering how I'm going to do that, because I can in theory turn the chair around and it has like a little foot lock. But the thing is, in that case, the seat will prevent me from leaning back. And I think if I'm understanding that movement properly, the whole point of that N1, like neutral grip lat pull down, is that I am supposed to have a little bit of a lean back, right? So I can't have that seat like right behind me. I have to be able to lean back a little bit. So I'm thinking that maybe if I can scooch back in that seat a little bit and maybe if I can just have that thigh rest maybe right here, if I can get it here and I can just lean back a little bit so I can like get that stretch, I think that's ideal for me, because it's going to be more difficult with the chair, with being able to keep me attached to the floor, basically. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, that's about it.